Thank you for your nice introduction, Chairman. So it's not shown in the front side. Okay, here we go. All right. So my name is Wonjae Shin from Korean University. So it's my great honor to be here to take part in this wonderful event as a very last speaker. So today I'm going to share my view on how to embrace the next wave of the LEO satellite access toward the 6G, in particularly in the interference issue arising in the LEO satellite network. So this is the outline of talk. First, I briefly introduce a motivation of the 6G NTN with some paradigm shifting of the new space era. And then we'll move on a recent trend of the LEO satellite communication. Follow this, we will also address the interference issues arising in the LEO satellite communications. And if time allows, also we will also go over robust beamforming or multiple access technology for the LEO satellite access. And then I'll conclude the talk. So yeah, gentle introduction. So yeah, I'd like to start with some underlying trend of the wireless communication. So it has been evolved from like 1980s. So it has been, data rate has been evolved and increased like 1 to the 100 times in each generation due to the emergence of new services. So now we are almost in the 5G era. So to support ultra broadband and massive IoT services, 5G has been redesigned to support like 100 times faster than a 4G network. So the 6G is even 6G is it has to so 6G has to support even more diverse applications. So global service coverage would be the one of the interesting the requirement. So since 2021, ITR started to creating the vision documentation and framework for 6G, which is called IMT 2030. So the IMT 2030 vision documentation shows that there are the 6 the usage scenario where the 3 of them are just extension of the 5G, which is IMT 2020, and 3 of them are quite new usage scenario, which is include the ISAC and AI communications and ubiquitous connectivity. And capability to support this usage scenario, there are the 15 new capability. Among them, the coverage would be a very interesting capability to support ubiquitous connectivity. Okay, so with this, 6G will envision to support hyperconnect society. All right, this is a kind of the like a back data of the coverage imbalance all over the world. Yeah, this is accumulate coverage map. Very surprisingly, some more than 30% of global population, corresponding to 2.6 billion people, do not use a mobile internet. And then even more surprisingly, in terms of land mass, 40% of the land is not covered by wireless company, and only in terms of the world surface, only 15% of the world surface is covered. I mean, including all the oceans and everything here. So you can imagine how much we have more opportunity to connect the unconnected, yeah, to complement and extend our coverage. So the use of non-terrestrial network would be a very promising solution for this. I mean, to cover the whole, right? So this is because one in the like air or space might provide very wide coverage on the ground. So it should be very efficient solution to provide a high connectivity, right? But this is this is a paradigm shifting in terms of the usage of the satellite. So in typical like a satellite setup would be the fixed satellite services with a very wide coverage on the ground. But this architecture is suited for like broadcast or multicast signal. But the purpose of the communications, high throughput satellite got a lot of attention these days. So it create the narrow spot beam. So narrow spot beam. So in each spot beam, it serve more than one user simultaneously. But the thing is, if you use a very aggressive frequency reuse across multiple spot beam, you might have a very high level of interference due to the side lobe of this beam pattern, right? So let's move on like a satellite frequency. So many LEO satellite operator are moving from existing C-band or Ku band to the Ka band. So why is that? Because moving to the higher frequency provide a lot of opportunity for the wider signal bandwidth, right? But Ku band has a very bad property that it has a it's very susceptible to the adverse weather condition, right? However, if you use a higher frequency, it might have also a benefit, right? It's allowed a smaller antenna size that promoting multiple antenna like signal processing or the beamforming technique, right? So also they say a lot of the LEO satellite operator are exploring even higher bandwidth, like a E-band. In Starlink cases, they consider E-band as like a feeder link of their satellite network. So according to different altitude of the satellite, the satellite system can be classified into 3 different classes, like a GEO and MEO and LEO satellite. So also it has due to the different altitude, it might have a different orbital period. So LEO satellite has only the 90-minute orbital period due to the very fast movement of its satellite, right? Also, GEO cases, it has a very wide coverage, but we have to think about the latency issue. So if you want to support like a LTE-like latency, for example, if you want to support like a VoIP services, it might have like a 150 milliseconds should be the normal latency to support VoIP services. If we have that constraint, then LEO satellite are only the candidate we can think of to support the LTE-like services. So that's the reason why this day we focus on the LEO satellite. So let's move on the recent trend of the LEO satellite communication. So this day, the many LEO satellite operator are start to launching their satellite to form the mega constellations. So with a target of 42,000 satellite, the Starlink already launching their satellite from since 2019. So already it's their number of satellite are already it's about 5,000 satellite. And also OneWeb and Telesat and Kuiper project also is going on. So I'd like to emphasize the Starlink journey. So Starlink, this is the data of the Q4 of the 2021. Although it just start the launching the satellite, but it already approaching the regular broadband speed of the data. So it already achieved almost 100 megabps per the downlink. So that is comparable to the downlink speed of the broadband services. I mean the wireline services in US cases. Also, this is also very far the faster than the competitor of the HughesNet or Viasat, which is the biggest company of the geo satellite in US. But things are not easy because number of subscribers increase very quickly. So now it's already subscriber of satellite already approached like 4 million subscriber. So if the number of subscriber increase, then data rate per user should be decreased. So now it becomes even less than the 100 megabps for each like a subscriber. So what does it mean? So we have to come up with a very advanced satellite broadband access. Otherwise, if the number of the user or subscriber increase, the data rate should not be guaranteed. So these are even the Starlink and T-Mobile. They try to serve like a satellite to direct to cell services. So even in the unmodified LTE phone, they can. With the unmodified the phone, they can also receive signal from the Starlink Starlink satellite with like mid band of the T-Mobile the band in US. So they already start to text services, but they will expand their services of the voice and data and even the IoT services from upcoming year. So apart from the SpaceX or T-Mobile, so Apple and Huawei and the Link, AST Mobile, also they try to support the satellite-based cellular broadband services. So I'd like to emphasize on AST Space Mobile. So they space-based satellite broadband network with like an unfolding, it's 64 square meter, very huge antenna array are used for their satellite to services. So what does it mean? I mean, so they have a very large size of the antenna to cope with high path throws from satellite to the ground, right? So most of the burden are moving to the mobile phone to the satellite, right? So we should think about the very pencil beam and high like the array gain of the beamforming from the satellite. Right. So let's move on the interference pattern or technical issue in the LEO satellite network. So I'd like to introduce actually the 5 types of the interference issue. The first interference issue is about the interbeam interference issue. So if you use a very aggressive frequency reuse, then you have to divide your bandwidth into like a 2-part. In the satellite cases, they also use a orthogonal polarization pattern. So this is called like a 4-color pattern because 2 orthogonal frequency or the time and 2 different orthogonal polarization. So with this, we can handle the interference. But the problem is available bandwidth to each user is not enough, right, to support the broadband services. Then we need to move toward the aggressive frequency reuse. But the problem is still the interference, interbeam interference due to the side lobe effect. But problem is not that simple because channel state information is not very quite challenging to get so it's very hard to get accurate channel information at the transmitter. Transmitter could be the satellite or the gateway. But why is that? Because it takes a very long time for the channel feedback from the user to the satellite, right? You can imagine how much time they can spend. And also channel itself, I mean, when it comes to the LEO satellite, channel itself from the satellite to the ground change quickly over time. So it's very hard to get accurate channel state information. And also you can imagine how much wider coverage they have to serve. And also there are so many users available in their footprint. So usually the number of antenna is much less than total number of users. So this is a quite interference limited system. So second type of the interference is the multi-LEO interference. So I'd like to emphasize on near-far effect in NTN. When it comes to terrestrial network, the received signal measured at cell center and cell edge are quite different because the distance is quite different. However, in NTN cases, the distance between the satellite and the beam center user and the distance between the satellite and beam edge users are not quite distinct. So because of this, received signals are quite similar across all the beams. What does it mean? So it's there's no like a very clear like a beam center or beam edge. So all the areas are the interference limited region. Okay, and also we can think of asynchronous interference issue because the distance between the different layer to the user are quite different according to the different elevation angle. And also, due to the like a Doppler effect, also frequency synchronization might be also a problem. Okay, so those are also the quite technical challenge for handling a multi-layer satellite interference. And also there are also the satellite network are also consists of the feeder link and service link. When it comes to the feeder link, also we have to think of how we can improve and increase the spectral efficiency of the feeder link because it corresponds to the backhaul network. So we have to also like use a non-orthogonal resources for the multiple gateway transmission. But this is quite the line of sight channel. So we can also handle this line of sight channel with our line of sight MIMO technique or so on. But thing is, even the LEO satellite has moving very quite fast. So even the angle information is not very accurate. So the outdated azimuth and elevation angle should be also the technical issue. And also, I'd like to emphasize on multi-layer satellite communication. So, for example, if the GEO satellite and the LEO satellite are share their spectrum, of course they have to suffer from interference each other. For example, in this case, if we consider a coexisting scenario of the GEO and LEO, so there are existing GEO user here. But if we launch the new LEO satellite, this LEO satellite cause some interference toward existing GEO user. So to avoid this, even the OneWeb and Starlink also they consider a lot of the interference avoidance technique, including a progressive pitch and beamforming technique. So we have to come up with a new kind of multiple access of the beamforming technique to guarantee service continuity of the LEO satellite, and while protecting the GEO user. And also, we have to think about integrate satellite terrestrial network. So, also the channel between the satellite to the ground users are line of sight channel, right? So due to this channel characteristic, satellite cause a lot of the strong interference toward the user in a very wider area. So this make break the performance of the terrestrial network. So we need some coordination. But we have some opportunity because now satellite, if the satellite adopt the 3GPP NTN, so NTN satellite large share the physical layer and protocol and network architecture with TN. So that's, I think, the new kind of opportunity for us to coordinate integrate satellite and terrestrial network. And also, if you think more on ISAC, the integrated sensing and communication in the context of the LEO satellite network, we can also think of even more severe and diverse types of the interference issue. So also it might has to handle intra-function interference, but also we have to handle inter-function interference. I mean, interference between radar and the communication as well. And also we have to design a dual function signal and conflict between the uplink communication signal and the echo signal of the radar signal. So there are many different types of, new types of the interference should be, comes in when it comes to ISAC in the context of the LEO satellite. Okay? So, but I have to skip this part. This is actually, our group also proposed some of the interference, the management scheme for to tackle the interference issue I introduced. So the first work is about the interbeam interference issues. Yeah. And the second work is about interference, robust interference issue between a GEO and LEO coexisting scenario. So with this, even this scenario, we have to, guarantee the service continuity of the LEO satellite. If you see the other performance, other schemes performance. If your LEO satellite are near the GEO user region, then your LEO satellite performance are almost that. And also we have to think about the coexisting scenario of the LEO and GEO. And also we have to we can also think about how they can interplay each other. So how they can cooperate each other. So data sharing between the GEO and LEO, or the channel state information between GEO and LEO, or so on. Like we discussed in the COMP in the 4G network. Okay. And also we come up with a new multiple access scheme for the integrated and satellite terrestrial network. And so we also designed for the new message design for quite robust to handle inter-network interference. And also, lastly, we also came up with a new multiple access scheme for the NTN ISAC too. Okay. So apart from this, also we explore the impact of the reconfigurable intelligent surface in the context of the LEO satellite. So if you think about embedded LIS in the LEO satellite, it can also create the favorable channel to mitigate the blockage issue in the LEO satellite network. And also the use of the LIS can also provide very good opportunity to improve the link quality and also the interference issue. So that would be very interesting research direction. So with this, I also distribute our knowledge to flex conference, including the GlobeCom last year, and also special interest group in IITP. So with this, I'd like to conclude the talk. So as we move forward the future connectivity, so addressing interference issues would be very crucial in improving the performance of the LEO satellite network in the 6G era. So with this, I conclude the talk. Thank you for listening.